Deep Run High School's Out of the Woods Theater Company heads to a small village outside Vienna for their upcoming presentation. Ryan Davies, Max Wasilick, and Hadley Depew join us this morning with a preview of Frankenstein 1930. It's nice to see you here. Thanks for being in.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
You guys are working really hard on getting this show together. This is pretty magical. It's a different interpretation. Ryan, tell me about, you play the creature.
Yes.
Tell me about this different spin.
Well, he's not the typical creature that you see, not the campy one with the bolts in his neck. We're going for a lot more of a realistic, what this creature would actually look like had he had all these parts sewn into him and whatnot.
So it must be an interesting interpretation that it's a little bit more real and not quite as out there necessarily.
Yeah,
with the
it's a lot
costuming.
more, we're going a lot more for the human emotion that would come with this situation and how it affects everyone.
Interesting stuff. And Max, you play Henry Lovitz
Yes,
in
that's
the
right.
show. And tell me about the role that you play and what you're bringing.
Well, Victor Frankenstein and Elizabeth, they are pretty much betrothed to be married, and everyone is thinking they're going to be married, but alongside that, Henry is in love with Elizabeth, and she, although she doesn't say it, she's also in love with Henry, and that creates kind of a social and romantic tension underneath all of the dramatic tension with the creature.
Excellent. So we've got almost two stories happening simultaneously here, a little love triangle happening.
Yeah.
You guys are all in charge of that. And Hadley, before we got started, we were just having the chance to meet each other. You're props manager for the show.
Yes, I am.
Which I love, and I love that you're here because that brings the perspective of putting all of this together, creating this environment. And what a neat thing to be able to do in high school. What have you had to do to bring this show to life?
Well, for Frankenstein, we've done a lot with color. We really want our sets to be in shades of black and white and gray to sort of echo the fact that the movie itself was in black and white. And we've also used inspiration from, like, classic old laboratories, and we're trying to balance out realism with a little bit of that, dramatic show flair for the set.
Interesting. And I thought you also were going to say, it's not necessarily black and white. There's shades of gray because we have a love triangle. There's a lot of things happening there.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
A lot going on in the show, which is great because that makes it really engaging for audiences. You have some team members here with you. This is a pretty big cast and crew
Yes.
putting
It
this
is, yeah.
together. We're seeing a few there. That's Reese Ketter, Michael O'Connell, and Danielle Allen. They're just three of the other big team members that you have. And costumes. I know you said there was a different interpretation on makeup, but how about let's paint the picture of costuming. Tell me about that.
We're still working on the costumes, so we're still trying to figure out and going for a more realistic thing with the creature, but with...
And what I'm wearing right now is kind of an idea of what we'll try to be going for. This might not be exactly what we're wearing, but it is something that we will look at.
Right. And I think I saw a lab coat across the
Yeah.
studio
Oh, yeah.
here, so we've got a little taste of what's
Yeah.
to come. Really neat putting this together. And how did you decide on Frankenstein? We've just passed the holiday of Halloween, and this is right on the forefront coming up in mid-November. So how did Frankenstein feel right for this time of year?
The past few years, we've done a lot of fairy tales. Last year, we did Cinderella and Alice in Wonderland, so we kind of wanted to go for something a little more darker, a little more mature, and something that we could really get serious and just stretch into something dramatic.
That's fantastic. And now, will each of you, are you planning on pursuing drama outside of high school?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
I am.
probably. I'll
Yeah.
do stuff in college.
All right, I love it. It's like an internship, right, in high school.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
the most important thing you can do. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you
And
very
thank
much.
you guys across the studio for being with us too. We appreciate it. You look great over there. Good luck with the show. It is coming up November 10th through the 12th at Deep Run High School, 4801 Twin Hickory Road in Glen Allen. For information, you can call 364-8000. Tickets are only $7 in advance, $10 at the door. Make sure you go. It's going to be a great show.